Hogwarts Legacy is going to undeniably be the most magical game of next year coming out in February. And today we're going to look at all of the enemies and magical creatures that are in this game in Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy is based in the late 1800s. You were a fifth-year student who manages to find his way to Hogwarts. You're going to be able to play this open world game and adventure throughout the castle, find secret puzzles, and interact with a ton of NPCs, fight a ton of different enemies, and meet a ton of different magical creatures that you will be able to either defeat or tame and keep as pets. Let's get right into some of those now. First off, we're going to look at the goblins. So the primary antagonist for the story is Rainrock. Rainrock is a goblin who led a goblin rebellion against the wizards in the late 19th century. He was allied with the dark faction of dark wizards led by Victor Rookwood. Rookwood was a greedy individual who sought to claim a magical power he caught a glimpse of that wizard kind hid even from themselves. His worldview was skewed by his hatred for all wizards and witches who he has sought to entirely destroy. Through this plotline, you will face a ton of different goblin enemies, whether that be melee enemies, magical enemies that can transform into a higher version of themselves, or caster goblins, goblins with crossbows, every kind of goblin enemy that you can imagine in this game. Goblins will be littered throughout Hogwarts and the surrounding areas. Next we have trolls. Trolls are classic fantasy brutes. Not even wizards in the Harry Potter universe are free from contending with them. Harry, Ron, and Hermione famously had to battle a troll during their very first year at Hogwarts. Though these slow, gigantic creatures might not be the quickest or cleverest enemies in Hogwarts Legacy, they are famously durable and usually come equipped with oversized clubs. For all the tricks that Hogwarts is sure to teach players over the course of the game, trolls are likely to be a regular nemesis to players, soaking up damage while dishing it out greatly. Another enemy is the corrupted toad. Now, we don't know a ton about this enemy. I'm just going to go with the fact that these gigantic toads existed outside of Hogwarts in some kind of dungeon or catacomb-like area and became corrupted by dark arts, and that's probably what this enemy is. Next will be dragons. There are a ton of different types of dragons in this game. Dragons are always a formidable foe and will probably have a ton of health and be difficult to defeat. There's a ton of different dragons within the series of Harry Potter. These are some of those type of dragons. The trailer saves perhaps the most climactic magical creature of all for the end. There will be dragons in Hogwarts Legacy. As one would expect, the player is dwarfed by dragons, and they look like they'll serve up some very dramatic battles, perhaps towards the end of the game. Next are the Inferi. These are skeletal, zombie-like enemies that are going to be in dungeons, catacombs, things like that you will encounter throughout the game. This is something of a darker creature that's liable to serve as a significant threat. There's a form of dark magic that can animate human corpses into mindless but highly aggressive undead minions. If Harry Potter's own encounter with them is anything to go off of, they're not to be trifled with. However, the name somewhat ironically hints at their weakness. They have an aversion to fire. If the team at Avalanche Software keeps that bit of lore in the game, players will be wise to pack some sort of fire spell before exploring ruins and dark wizard lairs. Next is giant spiders. Giant spiders are famous in the Harry Potter world for living in the Forbidden Forest. In the movies, the characters are seen going to the Forbidden Forest and having to dodge and fight these giant spiders, and will be a part of the game when you venture to that area. Next will be casters. Human casters are going to be riddled throughout this game. They're going to be probably the primary enemy next to goblins. There will be different kinds of human casters, such that use very different dark magic. Some that can stun you, some that can cause different effects to happen to you, can root you. Some can even make you not be able to move at all. Different casters are going to be riddled throughout this game, and humans will play a large part as an enemy. Mannequins will be another enemy that you will meet. Mannequins is another enemy you will face alongside in the Haunted Hogsmeade questline. This is a secret haunted entrance at the bottom of the Hogsmeade shop that is haunted. You will have to work your way and find your way through this area to get whatever prize lies at the end. Next is going to be Stone Knights. Stone Knights seem very much, if you're familiar with the chess pieces or the knights that protect Hogwarts in the movies. I believe that's exactly what these are. These Stone Knights protect and are turned against you during the game. A creature that's definitely going to be in the game is a hippogriff. We already have video confirmation of that. So you will be able to fly a hippogriff around the map and be able to save a bunch of time. So you could choose probably your hippogriff or a broom to fly around on. Yes, these hippogriffs are just like Buckbeak in the movies. Dementors. So Dementors are gonna definitely be in the game. We have confirmation throughout the trailer that they're gonna be in the game. The soul-sucking race known as Dementors made their first appearance in Prisoner of Azkaban as well, but plague Harry Potter and his allies throughout the entire series. A swarm of them appears in the trailer for Hogwarts Legacy, as shown here, suggesting that players will be forced to confront them outside of magizoology studies. It's likely that they'll appear as a late game enemy, since the most reliable way to combat them is using the Patronus charm, which is famously difficult to master. Dementors might serve as an obstacle that keeps players from entering certain areas or achieving certain objectives until the late game. Next, we have Graphorns. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them did more than just launch Newt into the forefront of Harry Potter media. It also introduced fans to a wealth of new creatures, including the Graphorn. These titans have a gait and posture sort of like a rhinoceros, but they have a vast crown of horns and a mass of tentacles that cover their mouths. Based on the trailer, players will have to contest with Graphorns at some points, but they can also be tamed or calmed down. Notes taken in care for magical creatures might be lifesavers in this game. Next, we have Thestrals. Thestrals will be evident in the surrounding areas of Hogwarts, and you will be able to ride/tame them. There's also one included in the Deluxe Edition as a mount that you get if you purchase the Deluxe Edition. Next, we have Mooncalves. Mooncalves is another creature that got some attention most recently in Fantastic Beasts, necks and huge round blue eyes. Supposedly, they only emerge from their burrows during full moons, a likely namesake. They seem pretty docile, but considering there's a short of a Hogwarts student feeding a group of mooncalves, players should expect to come across them in the classroom and perhaps along the Hogwarts grounds too. So if you're playing the game and you see a full moon, go try and find these guys and tame yourself one. And finally is the Niffler. This is the creature that is seen in the Fantastic Beasts movies that Newt tells to go and steal things for him. I believe that's what this creature is. If it's not, then the only other thing that it could be is Perry the Platypus. I'm debating between the two. Perry the Platypus sounds like a decent option, but in the context, I don't know that works. Let me know in the comments what your favorite creature or enemy is. That being said, these are all the characters and creatures that we know of so far in Hogwarts Legacy. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more Hogwarts Legacy content coming up. Thank you guys. Peace.